Welcome back to Ringworm. I've been standing here for quite a while. I finally just decided to turn the camera on because maybe having somebody watching will move me along on this project. Ever since I made the table and got the pull down movie screen and have the movie theater set up, I'm trying to watch I'm actually trying to get myself to watch one movie per week because I know I'll enjoy it, but I always want to be doing something and then I'm tired and then I'm hungry, and it's a good thing that it just makes me take a couple hours and sit down and not move. Sometimes it's raining and the best time to watch movies the middle of the day, and this is not a high-end projector. You can't see anything in the middle of the day, so I have to make some window shades. I have this tanned cow hide with all the fur on it, and I really want to use this for my window shades. However, it's not anywhere close to big enough to covering all three windows. So I'm digging through my old material stash. I also have half a hide of leather, which sort of matches in color. And of all my other scraps, I found two other things that very strangely match this place really well. This stuff goes great with all the wood that's in here. I've had this forever. I think one of my friends gave me this years ago, and I don't know, it's just not really my thing. I've never found a place to use it. And this is the rip-off, I call it rip-off Sunbrella canvas, waterproof canvas that's left over from doing the shower. Look at the match of the floor. It's kind of creepy, it's so good. However, when you put all four of these fabrics together, it's really weird and clashy on your brain. You've got that deep, dark, rich fur, tanned leather, striped outdoor upholstery fabric, and then straight green. And of course I could buy fabric, but I'm not going to do that. That's cheating. I mean, that's basically cheating. I want to use only what I have on hand and make some really funky window shades that aren't going to be an assault on my eyes for the next who knows how long. But since I still don't really know where to start, I'm just going to put it off for a couple more minutes. I actually slept in here the last 3 nights, I think, and it was kind of nice. It's been really windy and quite cold. Not to the temperatures where I'd mind being in a tent, but I don't know. I think I'm just getting lazy as I get older. So I think I decided that's the line. I think I'm just going to stay in here for the winter now. Do you think it's weird that a guy would spend a year and a half building a cabin and then finally get it done and not really want to move into it? If I wanted to live indoors, I could have just not come out here in the first place. I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, it's nice, I like heat. Well, I mentioned that the reason I moved inside the cabin 3-4 nights ago is it was in the 30s, it was really windy, and it was raining, and this tent is so old that the rain went right through it. So I don't know what time it was, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning or something. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna die laying in here, but there's a dry place and a heater right there, so I just grabbed my sleeping bag, went in there, and forgot to leave. I do have multiple other tents here that are waterproof right in one of these bins under the deck, but I don't know, something about that heater's just got my name all over it. Well, that took all of 4 minutes. I think the other reason I can't quite figure out how to do this is, everything else is building, making my own lumber, everything. I'll just start building, and if I screw up, I just make more lumber. But that hide I only have one of. Yeah, but you're right. You're right. Who cares? It's just a hide. Let's go cut it up. Alright, so I was trying to think of how to make these go up and down. You could roll them, but I don't think that's going to work with a with a furry shade. Could make it so it swings up. That would be kind of cool. Problem is that window doesn't have space to flip up because of the ropes there for the table, and that can't flip up because of the movie screen. It could go over the rolled up movie screen, but the whole point is to be able to put them down and drop the movie screen. And of course the only way these are going to go up or down is with some kind of strangs. Strangs, S-T-R-A-N-G-S. So I'm thinking it hangs like that. We attach some strangs to the middle of it, And it kind of does a fold. That way they can go straight up. They don't have to swing out into the room. Maybe we do some kind of like a stick through the middle of it so it can open or can go up like this. In which case, I don't know that we want fur right in the middle. Maybe we'll do leather in the middle. See, this is good. You're helping me figure this out. Maybe we do fur on the bottom half because when it goes up like this, it's going to be the fur that's facing the room. And 99% of the time, these are going to be up like this. Yeah, fur on the bottom, leather. And then I guess we do, see, we figured this out right away. And then we do that tan stripy stuff or green stuff for the top panel. You know, actually the stripy stuff doesn't really block out the light. You can see through it pretty easily. This stuff does, so I guess we have to do green. What's that? What do you mean I changed clothes? I didn't change. Oh. It's a week and a half later? Oh. Do you mean to say I procrastinated on my procrastination? Well, it's true. I did. I had other stuff to do, okay? Back off. You know, there was guitar to play and shooting to be done, and ooh, look at lights to be made. Pretty sweet. Did you see that video? You should have seen that video. It was great. And it's all such cool colors, but there's not very much white, and it would be neat to have a little bit of white. So let's try to use those side pieces. Oh, this is going to be a furry mess in here, isn't it? It'd be like having a bag full of dead animal from roadkill. You know, I bet just scissors would work better than a knife on this stuff. Thing with the leather is it kind of stretches and shifts, not all in the same direction like normal fabric. So when you pull a knife across it, kind of stretch it, you sometimes have issues making a straight line. Yeah, this works great. Ooh, yeah, I meant to lay all this out first before I started cutting. What a dolt. Wow, that looks awesome. Haha, love it. Look at that. I did something. I made progress. Ryan, you are one weird dude. Hey, look at that. Matches the couch great, too. Oh, that would have looked pretty cool as a couch cover. You'd end up with hair all over your clothes all the time, but if I do indeed end up with a giant, giant furry dog in here, I guess I'm going to have to get used to that anyway. It's the first time in a long time I've given a cow a haircut. Well, bizarrely enough, I have just enough, I'm actually a ½ inch short of this green fabric to be able to put all these together without having to patch scraps of green fabric together, as long as I don't make it double-sided with that tan yellow fabric. Because you know when you sew fabric together, if you're going to sew two pieces flat to each other, you got to fold the ends under so that you don't end up with this raw seam that's going to unravel. And I don't have enough to be able to fold a ½ inch underneath and attach two different colors together. So we're going to do fur, and we're going to sew on 5 inches of this. I think I'm going to put this over top, And I'll sew this all with black because it kind of looks cool to have like a, you know, really heavy black stitch across there. And then this piece will go just underneath there, so there'll be a cool heavy stitch there and there. And this is wild too, that on the edge you'd want to fold this under. Actually, you'd want to fold it under twice because you can see both sides of the shade. So then on neither side do you see that scraggly edge of the fabric. But there's not enough material to do that. So what we're going to do instead is we'll get all this put together like this, and then we'll cut some strips, 1-inch strips of leather, and put it around the edge like a binding, so the whole thing will get outlined with a 1-inch strip of leather. This is the fun part about not buying all the materials up front, having all the right sizes of everything. If I'd have just had enough furry cow hides to cover the windows, it would have just been 3 rectangles, but there's not enough. So we got to add on some other material, and that's not quite big enough to use like you'd normally want to. So we add leather, and then we have to add leather binding. I mean, it just makes the whole thing so much more fun. I don't know which one would have looked better. We'll never know, but this is going to be really fun together, and it is going to be hella funky. I'm going to try to get all of this cut out, taped up, ready to go today. And then tomorrow, first thing, I'll bring the sewing machine in here because I can't do both at the same time. Like, I need the floor to cut this stuff out and lay it out, but I need the folding table in here to set the machine on and everything, and I won't be able to move around once it's all set up. I absolutely love using this tape to put stuff together instead of trying to just hold it by hand or use pins or whatever. I don't know what that is. Mark for the hide number or something. I kind of like it, so I'm going to leave it on there. Instead of the normal nice leather side, I kind of like the suede-y side out, so I'm going to do that. And we'll just draw our line on there for how far the leather's going to stick over so we can get it straight. Okay, well, you know, working on dark green fabric on a dark green floor in a cabin with no electricity, no lights at the end of the day is not great content for videos, for YouTube videos. So why don't you just make the assumption that I figured out how to cut all this green stuff out, and I'll see you tomorrow for sewing day. Go on, you can trust me, I'll be fine. Just before the rain hits, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of it, I made some sticks, a little square, I think they're like 1-inch square, and then routed all the edges. I'm going to use these for the metal of the window shades to tie the strands onto to lift the whole thing up. Hopefully those will work down the line there. When I'm in here, I prefer to have my Bluetooth speaker on, listening to my podcasts and musics and stuff. Musics? Yeah, I said musics. But I don't know how YouTube works. I don't know if you're allowed to play musics if it's not your own. So I'm going to put my headphones on. Don't worry, I can still hear you if you got any questions. Guess we're going to need some battery power, aren't we? I started listening to Sierra Hall. I don't know how I found her, but some great mandolin bluegrass music. If you're into that kind of thing, you might want to check her out. Oh, look at that. We got power. What the hell is that? Oh. When I went through all my old tents, my old beat up, worn out tents, before I threw them away, cut all the good plastic hardware off of them. Look at all that good stuff. Got like tons of buckles, tensioners, hooks. You know, if you bought this all piece by piece, it'd be $100 right there. Worth saving. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to wear on my head to do a very straightforward project. There's not enough light in here to do the sewing. So I was wrong. I didn't have enough green to do these without patching one of them together. So just this one green panel is going to have a seam down the middle, but that's cool. Yeah, I've been listening to rap all morning, like for the last 3 hours, and switching to bluegrass. They're just equally good, you know? Chances are you don't know. Not a lot of people listen to rap and bluegrass, I bet. Man, I don't know if this thing needs greasing or what, but it is crazy slow. If it's just because it's really cold. It's a little tight or something. See how it's scrunched together? The good thing is, you're actually never going to see this, because it's either going to be dark in here, or the shade's going to be pulled up and the fur is going to be covering this, so I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Usually you sew leather with a leather needle, which the end of the needle is like, it's basically like a knife. It cuts a slit in there. You don't want that on this material because it'll cut a hole in it. You just want to poke through this. So what are you supposed to do? I have no idea. I'm just going to go with a regular needle, I guess. That looks cool, huh? I like the black zig. I left the leather a little long in case it stretched different than the other fabrics. Wouldn't be short. Alright, how do we sew fur onto that? Yeah, see? See? This shrunk up like an inch. I bet we could stretch it. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stretch it out to get on there, but how in the heck am I gonna keep that straight on there? I don't think we can tape to this. We might have to use some pins. Maybe we gotta draw a line on the back of this first. Yeah, look at the curve in that just because the stitching pulled it all tight. Ooh, yeah, that's not gonna work. Let's try this. Oh yeah. 45. It's probably just gonna make the whole thing wrinkle up, but what you gonna do? Wow, that's normal fabric. You just tape it and it stays. With fur, I was gonna pin it, but I can't even get the pins through 2 layers of leather, fur, and tape. Next time what I'll do is I'll sew this to this first, because then I can use a regular stapler, get it around here and just put staples in it. The problem is when I pick it up like this, it's all gonna fall apart. I can almost guarantee it. Unless I put a couple big staples in it, flip it over and bend the staples together. That'll hold it sort of in place. It's a lot of problem solving around the worm. Did you notice that? Oh, we'll just hope we don't hit the staple with the needle. Don't fall apart, don't fall apart. It's definitely the weirdest material I've ever sewed. Sewed. This is crazy mandolin playing. Cory, Wong, and Sierra Hull. Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that track one more time. That is great. All right, let's trim out the edges. I want to finish one of them completely, make sure everything works right, and then we'll do the other two. Looks like that huge statewide storm missed here by about a mile or 2. I thought it was going to pour all day, so I rushed to get everything in here and done that I needed to. Now it's going to be sunny for the rest of the day. That's alright, we got to block that sun out. I hate sun. Looks so much nicer and finished-er with that binding on it. It's pretty great. They definitely passed the swanky ridiculousness test, but did they block out the sun? Yup. Yeah, they're a little bit wrinkly. I think with time just hanging, they'll straighten out a little bit, but, you know, as I always say, it doesn't really matter. I wish it would stay there so I could stand back and take in the glory of it. Soon enough, soon enough. Let's try sewing these together first this time, see what happens. See if the staples will go in there. Yep, much easier. Bam! Bam! And shabizzle. Now what? Guess we'll do the small one first, because if I screw it up, it'll be less material to replace. Oh, I thought I had everything in here I needed to do this, and I just realized I don't have any way to attach these to the wall. I was thinking it was going to go up over here, back against the wall and up, and there'd be another strip like this just to hold it on there. But I don't got no strips, and now it's saying 100% chance of rain in an hour, so we better go cut some. We're in luck. Found one extra piece of trim that I made. It was left over, so that's perfect. An old windowsill with a couple screw holes in it. Perfect enough. And something else. Getting dark, it's getting dark. What do we need? 64. That's one. Is it even straight? Not really, but that's okay. 2 inches. Oh yeah. That's a handy little trick. If you ever have to do 2 inches and rip something, that's 2 inches wide. You don't even got to make no marks. Let's see. Oh, we got just enough room to cut the screw holes off of there. Oh, it's raining. It's raining. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Oh, gotta plane them down a little bit. This one's an old windowsill, so that's already planed up. You know, one day I'm going to build something with store-bought lumber just to see what it's like to not have to cut all the sizes you want. I remember those days. It was pretty sweet. I'm thinking this goes behind here. We cut a couple slits to make it kind of stick through. And then the outside too we can use for the strings. I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm going to put some little screws in there to keep them from sliding out the end. That'll do it. Oh wait, no, we still got to figure out the pulley system and how to get this thing to go up and down. Okay, I didn't really think this far ahead. I thought as far as the stick and the shade and a couple of pulleys, but where the heck is the end of the string supposed to run to? There's so much crap on all the walls, there's not an easy place to like pull it down and tie it off. Okay, so the first thing that pops to mind is just to put loops on these. Hooks up here, you just hook it like that. That would mean climbing up here. I don't think I want to do that, even though these are going to get used maybe once a month. I think since we already have this monstrosity and all these pulleys, let's do a lot of pulleys. Let's go wacky. So I found these on Amazon, little tiny suckers, but just right for that string to go through. Actually, that paracord looking stuff came with these. Okay, so what if we do those two, the strings go up through here, and then they go together, you tie them into one, and then we can go over to a corner and down. So that's all we need. Yep, that's the way to do it. Good thing is all these holes are so small, if it doesn't work out, we can change it. What's that? It's too bright over there? Don't worry, I got it. Is that better? Cowhide window shade remote control. It's rare, but they're still around there if you look hard. I was kind of thinking it should be white string to match the coffee table lifter uppers, but the way it hugs the ceiling like that, you kind of don't even see the strings. This is going to make it so dark in here. Sheesh. With those two windows uncovered, it is crazy dark. This is great. Just great. Yep. That one's nice and hidden. Hardly see the strings, except for a little bit up there. You know, we are really winning today. I'm not too sure that this one's actually going to raise because my ropes are in the way. I don't know what to do about that. I just decided since I couldn't figure it, I'd just put it up and see what happens. That's the best I can do. kind of rubs there a little bit, but I mean, it's leather on the edge, so putting this up and down, I don't think it's going to wear it out. Plus, if you had to, I guess you could let this down a little bit. Well, you're going to let it down when you watch a movie anyway. This is about center, so I scooted these way over so the curtain actually lifts at an angle, and it can't lift any more at an angle because of the shelves. So I think that's just how it's going to be. Yeah, she's a goer. Works great. Well, that just about wraps that up, which is good because that took far longer than I thought it was going to. Of course, my thoughts on how long it would take weren't really based on anything. Yeah, but these are cool. Should we see how dark it gets in here? I don't know, you're not gonna be able to see anything. It's kind of a dumb thing to try, but let's do it anyway. So where's the remote? Wow, that's fantastic. Killer project. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, it'd be nice to drop these and just watch a movie right now, but I got some other stuff to do. We got a hell of a lot of rain last night. I bet 1.5 inches anyway. And then we got this little span today without pouring, and tomorrow is supposed to be, I think, almost 2 inches of rain. I think I got most of my little projects done now. I have a few more things to do before winter time. Got to do some oil changes. Really would like to get a coat of that weather sealer stuff that I used on the sides of the cabin on the steps. And then of course pretty quick I got to drain stuff. It's in 3 days. It's supposed to be below freezing for several days. But other than the little chores, my focus is going to be almost completely on that kitchen. I don't know what order these videos are coming out, if you've seen kitchen stuff yet or if that's the next one. But I'm really looking forward to building that thing out. It is going to be so cool when it's done. It's going to be a lot of work though, which that's all right. I'll pick away at it over the winter. Hopefully try to mix some other little things in. I got a few things that I want to try out. They're completely have nothing to do with ringworm, but I think I'm going to make videos on it. Hopefully I'll be able to do that this winter. It's gonna be a hoot every Saturday morning, isn't it a hoot? How's your coffee, by the way? Mine was really good this morning. All right, catch you next week. You want to vacuum? You're not gonna vacuum. You never vacuum. God.